सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। We were in the 7th Kandika. We had finished the Bhashyam almost of the 4th Brahmana of the 4th chapter. Here you can see this Vakya here. The Upanishad had quoted a shloka, means a mantra. A mantra quoted by the Brahmana is called a shloka. And that shloka gave an analogy of the slough of the snake, correct? That snake, that skin, whatever skin it sheds, how the snake does not have Atma Bhava with reference to the skin it has shed. Similarly, the Jnani doesn't have Atma Bhava with reference to the body itself. Okay. Whatever body in which the Jnani is doing Vyavahara, that body is Anatma only. Not only the physical body, even the prana, mind, everything is really Anatma. So Jnani doesn't have any Atma Bhava with reference to all the three Shariras. And once this sloka was quoted, then Yajnavalkya is presented 1,000 cows by Janaka. But he doesn't say further, Ata Urdhvam Vimokshaya, like that he did not ask. Now that became a contention here. Why he did not say that? So some people had an opinion that that's because he enjoys listening to this Atma Vidya, and therefore he wanted Yajnavalkya to continue the same. If he had offered himself and his kingdom and all that, that means Yajnavalkya would have assumed that Janaka has gained this knowledge and he doesn't want to listen anymore and he would have stopped. But Janaka, having a ruchi or being a rasika of this, he wanted Yajnavalkya to go on and on. That is the idea. Like this, some people say. Okay. But Bhashyakara did not agree with this. He even said some very interesting things here, in fact, which can be used as a general principle in other places. So what he said here is, Bhashyakara says, Purushasya pramana bhutayaha shrutehe vyaja anupapattehe, he says. He says, Shruti cannot be deceptive or confusing like a human being, because Shruti is a pramana for us. Okay, so whatever the Shruti is revealing, it should be clear, and of course it should be useful and all that. Right? And in this case, there is Artha Shesha Upapattescha, he says. There is some more, we can show that Yajnavalkya has to say some more things to Janaka. And what is that means? That is about the sannyasa, he says, Bhashyakara. Okay, but if you say that this sannyasa is to be further said, why did he not ask then explicitly that Ata Urdhvam Vimokshaya, like that? It is not there. No, he just gave 1,000 cows as though something more is to be said, but he did not explicitly say that. Since Bhashyakara says that that's not a dosha here, because sannyasa is not like Atma Vidya. Atma Jnanam is the sakshat karanam for moksha, but sannyasa is like a pratipatti karma, he said. Pratipatti karma means if there is a context for it, then you have to do it. Okay. In Purva Mimamsa, certain actions in the ritual are called pratipatti karma, means if there is a context or if there is a need to do that, you can do it. You don't have to create a context to do it. You understand that? So, for example, in the Soma Yaga, that whatever soma which is left over, what should be done? Like that, there are some rules for that also. After you have offered the soma into the fire, the leftover soma, how you should drink it and all, there are rules for that. But let us say there is no leftover soma at all. Then what do we do? Should we then create more soma so that you can drink it? Means no, that's not the idea. If there is no soma there, then the rules which apply to how you have to drink that leftover soma does not apply. You understand that? You don't have to create some new soma rasa and then follow the rules to drink it, etc. That is what is called pratipatti karma. It is somewhat like if there is a scope for it, you do it. If there is no scope for it, then you need not do it. That is the idea. Now, sannyasa is like that because sannyasa makes this jnanam firm. Correct? For that purpose, sannyasa is very useful because even for a jnani, Bhashyakara has said even in long back, 147, Bhashya, if you go and see this prarabdha karma is it is very balavat. Okay, it is very strong. The body you have taken is due to the prarabdha karma, and prarabdha karma is not destroyed like the sanchita karma or agami karma. Because it has already started yielding fruits, and it will continue for some time. Still its momentum is there, but it is strong because your identity with your body is not something which was acquired. Correct? It's not an acquired trait to give up easily. It is naisargikaha. In fact, that error which you have made, that I am the body, is naisargikaha means it is coming anadikala. Correct? From beginningless time, you have been identifying with one body or the other body, depending on how many janmas you have had. That means to get out of that identity and identify oneself as Brahman, take some effort. Tyaga, Vairagya, etc. You have to have some sadhanas for that. Okay, those sadhanas are all part of nididhyasana also we can say, which makes the jnanam firm, sahaja, natural. How naturally you say that I am a human being, like that naturally one has to have the identity that aham brahmasmi. Till then one has to follow these sadhanas. For that sannyasa etc. are very useful because the sannyasa lifestyle aligns with this jnanam better than a life of a karmi, correct? Or a grihastha. Grihastha or vanaprasthi, they all have to do karma. Vihitam karma is there, mandatory. What has been mandated by the Shruti, Nitya Naimitika karma, one has to do. But Shastra itself frees you from that so that you can lead a simplified lifestyle which allows you to only focus on this jnanam and therefore, and also in fact even do dhyana. Even the 6th chapter in Bhagavad Gita, interesting thing is Bhashyakara interprets that dhyana yoga is for only sannyasis actually. So because ekaki yatachittatma, like that it is there. Being ekaki is not possible for a grihastha. A grihastha has to be there with his wife. He has to do daily karma. His wife has to uh, actually help. Correct? Sahadharma charni and all we say. That is because wife gets 50% of the punya also for the karma. That means wife has to help you. You cannot be alone in a place. That is only possible for a sannyasi. Therefore, this dhyana yoga and all is for a sannyasi means that nididhyasanam, doing the dhyana, being alone, etc. is possible only for a sannyasi. Certain sadhanas, it is easier for the sannyasi. That is why the sannyasa is also mandated, like Bhikshacharyam, Charanti and all we already saw in the 3rd chapter itself, it came. Okay. So here Bhashyakara says sannyasaha is also to be talked about. Therefore, Janaka did not offer himself and bring this whole dialogue to a closer. Instead, he just gave 1,000 cows as though he is expecting some more from Yajnavalkya. Okay, that's what we saw already, all these things. And he, Bhashyakara even quoted Sanyasena Tanum Tyajed iti smritehe. So there is a smriti In fact, I tried to locate this particular quotation. It is there in Skanda Purana, but it may be there in some other place also. Okay. So, sannyasena tanum tyaje means you give up your body by taking sannyasa. Like this, it is said. So, even if you are a yoga brashta, after you become a sannyasi, you did not gain jnana nishtha. Means you become a yoga brashta. What will happen to a yoga brashta? Again, it is said in the 6th chapter of the Gita. Okay, that you will nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatim tata gacchati and all Bhagavan says. So, if you are a sannyasi, you can never have a durgati. You will go to a nice loka and live there for a long time, or you will be born again in the yoginameva kule bhavati dhimatam and all Bhagavan says there. At the end of the 6th chapter, you will be born again in the kula of a yogi. So the sannyasis also have insurance there. Okay, Bhagavan is giving assurance that even after taking sannyasa, the Bhashyakara writes there in the Bhashya, interestingly. He says, after taking sannyasa, you cannot do karma also, and you cannot gain more punya. And you have not gained this jnanam also completely, let us say. Then he is like a Trishanku, correct? He is in between. He is not having the avenue to do karma to gain more punya and go to Swarga, etc. Nor he has gained this jnanam and jnana due to whatever reason, let us say. Then what will happen to such a person? That is the doubt Arjuna has, he says. So even yoga brashta can only be a sannyas, like that Bhashyakara writes in the Gita. And for that person, Bhagavan is giving an assurance, no problem. This person will either go to Swarga and enjoy, or even we talk about Krama Mukti, like that. You will go to Brahma Loka. Brahmaji will again teach you there. Okay, this same jnana. Or he will be born again in the kula of a yogi, etc. here. And in fact, he even says that Tatratam Buddhi Sanyogam Labate Paurvadehikam. Means you will again gain you will have access to whatever buddhi you had before. Means you will be like a child prodigy, etc. like that, correct? Because that's how many jnanis, we hear stories about saints and jnanis. They all had a certain, let us say, purva janma sambandha, we have to say. Otherwise, how can you explain children having certain skills or even certain thought patterns, correct? Thought process. How can a child think like this? You may be wondering, but it's not the child really thinking. It is the it is a Purva Janma Samskara which is continuing. Okay. So anyway, what the sannyasa has been praised, and then you take sannyasa and give up this body like this. It is said. Okay, this is assuming that sannyasa is like a pratipatti karma. But what about sannyasa as a sadhana for moksha? Because sannyasa has been accepted as a sadhana for moksha, means not sakshat sadhana, but krama. In krama, it is sadhana because there is also vividhisha sannyasa is there. Correct? There are two types of sannyasas are there. There is a vidvat sannyasa, there is a vividhisha sannyasa. Vividhisha sannyasa is looked upon as a sadhana for jnanam itself, and jnanam becomes the sadhana for moksha. But even in the sadhanatva paksha, Bhashyakara says, sadhanatva pakshepi na ata urdhvam vimokshaya eva iti prashnam arhati. So even if you take sannyasa like the vividhisha sannyasa as a sadhana, even then this question is not proper here. Why? Why? Because moksha sadhana bhuta atma jnana paripakarthatva. Because this sannyasa then becomes either a way to gain qualification for this atma jnana, or even after gaining this atma jnana, sannyasa helps you in making this jnanam uh, mature. Correct? Paripaka here is literally maturing, because it takes time for this jnanam to really sink in. Correct? Let us say like that. That you this jnanam has to transform you. The transformation may not happen overnight. Understand that jnanam is not like some bulb you switch on and suddenly it glows. It's not an event like that. It is, our Guruji used to say, it is more like, in those days he used to give the example of this Polaroid camera. This Polaroid camera was very famous in the 90s before all this digital camera became popular, correct? So Polaroid camera is an instant camera. But then you take the photo, initially you see, you won't see anything there. It will take some half an hour, but over a period of time, you can see that picture becomes, it starts appearing, appearing. It will become clearer, 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 like that. Like that, this is also a process of growing clarity. This jnanam is really, or he used to give the analogy of the sunrise. So when does it become day? When does it become fully a day means you cannot say that, correct? During sunrise, the light slowly it comes, but at some point it becomes very bright and you can say that this is day. Like that, at some point you will know yourself. In fact, the Upanishad will talk about that also very beautifully in the next shloka. So this, for the moksha sadhana, which is atma jnanam, sannyasa helps you that for the jnanam to become firm, to become natural. That jnanam has to transform you, correct? But transformation process or maturity, this sannyasa aids you. Therefore, it is only for that purpose. It's not sakshat sadhana. Therefore, ata urdhvam vimokshaya. Already atmajnanam has been talked about. So this prashnam is not relevant here. Okay, but since Janaka did not conclude this, Yajnavalkya is continuing. So he is quoting some more shlokas which are all beautiful here. So let us see. Tadete shloka bhavanti anuspantha vitatah purano mam sprishto nuvitto maya eva tena dhira piyanti brahmavidah swargam lokam ita urdhvam vimuktaah. So again, these shlokas are there. Some more shlokas will come now, and these are also in the context of this moksha only. Okay, so this Brahmavid, what happens to this Brahmavid? Okay, that is now being described in a detailed manner. Okay, so what already whatever has been discussed only, but even more details are given now. So in this, what is being talked about now is these shlokas are going to be said, and the first shloka is saying Anuh Pantha. Anuhu here means Sukmaha, subtle. So this path of jnana is subtle. In fact, this jnanam itself is subtle, correct? That is why, even though it is simple in one way, if you look at it, but this knowledge, even highly intellectual people can miss it. Totally, they can miss it. Understand that. That's why we have Vishita, Dvaita, Dvaita, etc. Okay, because even Ramanuja, Madhva, and all, they are highly intellectual people. They may be even bhaktas and all that. We have no problem with that. But if you don't have proper emotional maturity, all your intellect you will use only to whatever already agenda. If you have, you will use all your intellect to extract some meaning out of the Shruti and not what Shruti is actually revealing to you. So that is the problem. So this particular path of knowledge, in fact, in another Upanishad, it says Kshurasya Dhara and all that. Correct? It is like walking on razor's edge. Okay. So that is the kind of path it is. It is very subtle. Why? Because this jnanam, you have to know something which cannot be objectified. That is the basic problem with the self-knowledge. Self-knowledge, why so many people are confused? Even there are a lot of people, modern Vedanta also is total confusion. Okay, everybody confuses you. Each guru is saying some yoga. They invent new yoga also, correct? So it is like a spiritual supermarket. What do I follow then? Whatever helps you, you have to follow. Okay, because I think every guru helps somebody in some way, otherwise they will not have a following. But actually, what the Shastra is revealing, that whether everybody is getting or not is a big question mark. Why? Because whatever the Shastra is revealing, it is a knowledge, but it is not the knowledge of something which can be objectified. But the problem is, all our lives, we have only known things which can be objectified. Correct? Either you objectify it with your sense organs, correct? Or you objectify it as a concept in your mind, correct? You can do very sophisticated inferences. Now, those inferences are also leading to certain objectification in your mind. So, even a black hole, for example, is not available for pratyaksha, you can say, because even light does not escape. but still you have a certain concept about it, correct, in your mind, and you are objectifying it. All the knowledge you are gaining is all only about objects. But here we are talking about the very subject who can never be objectified. So then how do I know this subject? You cannot objectify it, but you need not objectify it. That is the most important thing, because your existence need not be known by objectifying yourself or anything. In fact, all that needs to be done is you have to get rid of all wrong notions about yourself. That is what the Shruti is accomplishing really. And Shruti is pointing out your own reality. So it is like a mirror. So the subject, like the eyes cannot see itself. Subject can never become the object. But still, if I want to see my eyes, what do I do? Means you have to stand in front of a mirror. There is no other way. And like that, the Shastra is like a mirror. And when the mirror is showing you something, whether you like it or not, you have to see it, correct? You have to appreciate it as it is. But if you already think, no, no, my nose should not be like this, it should be like this, etc., you can then adjust the mirror also, I think. You can make it convex, concave, and all that, and try to distort the vision or whatever, in whichever way you want to see yourself. But the idea is whatever Shruti being a pramana, you have to see yourself as the Shruti is revealing you. And that is a very difficult thing. Okay, so Anuhu and Shruti is using a particular methodology to teach also. And the Guru should use that methodology, then only the teaching works. And the Shishya also has to be qualified enough to receive that teaching and assimilate. All these things makes it Anuhu, Sukshmaha. So this Pantha is Anuhu, but it is Vitataha. It is very Vistirnaha, Bhashyakara will say. It is extensive, means basically this path is leading you to the limitless itself, correct? It has to be Vitataha. But it is also very old, Puranaha. It's not something, some new fad or fancy or anything. Understand that in the world, every week something new. In this social media world now, every week some new things are coming, new fads are coming. Some things are very dangerous. Okay, some challenges and all that. People do all sorts of crazy things just to get some likes and all that. Anyway, so this is not like that. It is not, this knowledge or being spiritual is not a fad or anything like that. Unless you understand what is your fundamental problem and seek a resolution for that, this is not going to work. And the resolution also is not something new. It is Shruti Proktam. And when did the Shruti start means that also we don't know. Like Shruti has been there forever. It has Pravaha Nityatvam and all that we say. Therefore, because it is Shruti Proktam, it is Puranaha. It's very old. And Mam Sprishtaha, Anuvittaha, Mayaiva. And this path has touched me. This is like a Jnani is talking. Okay, Jnani is saying this path, this is very Puranaha, Vitataha, Anupantha, Mam Sprishtaha means it has touched me means what? I have gained. I have gained this. That means what? You are on a path, means you may not have reached your goal. Correct yet. Is it like that? Means no. That is why he says Anuvittaha Mayaiva. So Anuvittaha here means you have gained the phala also. The phala avasana has happened. Not only that you have gained the knowledge, not gaining that knowledge itself is also moksha. It's not that I have to gain the knowledge and then I am waiting for to get the phala. It is not like that. So Mayaiva Anuvittaha means what? That too what? It is not that I am telling somebody else told me and now I am telling. It's not like that. It is my own anubhava. I am the witness for this. So I have gained whatever is to be gained. Kritakritaha, kritakrityaha. So I have to know that I have accomplished whatever it is to be accomplished. Everything is already accomplished for me. There is nothing more to be accomplished. That is jnani. So anuvittaha mayaiva. And such a jnani means what? Then others, one person is saying this. That means what? Only that person can gain jnanam means no. Anybody who has this jnanam gets the same thing. So, tena dhiraha api yanti brahmavidaha swargam lokam. So, by this knowledge, By this Brahma Vidya, Dhiraha means again, Dhiraha means Viveki Purushaha we have to take. The ones who have Viveka and they gain what? Swargam Lokam. This Brahmavid, for them, Swargam Lokam Apiyanti Brahmavidaha. Here, Swargam Lokam means again what? Are you going to go to some Loka means no. In this context, Swargam Lokam is Moksha. Moksha, this Atmaiva Loka for this person. So, Swargam Lokam means you can take, it is praised. Those who are all Loka minded, for them, this Moksha is like going to Swarga Loka only. But right here, and the two here, Ita Urdhvam Vimuktaha, like that this Upanishad says, Ita Urdhvam part is Videha Mukti. So even after this body is gone, you are gaining moksha only. But Vimuktaha San Ita Urdhvam Swargam Lokam Apiyanti we have to take. Being already liberated, being already free here, after this body falls also, you are still the same Mukta Purushaha only, but Videha Muktihi now. So both Jivan Mukta and Videha Mukta is talked about here. Let us see the Bhashya. Kamasya Brahmavidaha Moksha इत्येतस्मिन्नर्थे मन्त्रब्राह्मणोक्ते विस्तर-प्रतिपादका एते श्लोकाः भवन्ति. So तदप्येते श्लोकाः भवन्ति, like that it is there. So now in this tadapyete means what? Or tadete. Tadete means what is this tadete means? Bhashyakara is saying whatever this Atmakamaha, who is Atmakamaha means for whom whatever is to be desired, everything is Atma only. Such a person who is also Aptakamaha and who is a Brahmavit, and for that person moksha is the only purushartha, and with reference to that, this mantra and brahmana, all these things were already talked about or already said, described. But the same thing now what Vistara Pratipadaka means they have to be now described in more detail. Okay, in a detailed manner, the Shruti wants to talk about. Therefore, these shlokas are there in that meaning to describe this Brahmavit and Moksha in detail. These shlokas are there. Okay, ete shlokaha bhavanti. And this first shloka is what? Anuhu Sukshmaha Pantaha. So why is it Anuhu Sukshmaha? Because Bhashyakara simply says Durvijnayatvat. So this is what I explained to you in detail, correct? Why it is Durvijnayam? Because you have to know something which you cannot objectify. That is why it is Durvijnayam. And it is Vitataha, Vistirnaha. It is also extensive in the sense that it leads you to this limitlessness itself, correct? But Bhashyakara again, here interestingly, he takes the Pathantara also. See, the actual commentary is on the Kanva Shakha of the Shukla Yajurveda, but there is also a Madhyandina Shaka, where there is some slight variations are there. So instead of Vitataha, in the Madhyandina Shaka, it is Vitaraha. So Bhashyakara says, Vispashta Tarana Hetutva Dva Vitaraha iti Pathantara. Means Vitaraha means Vispashta Tarana Hetu, he says. Means it is definitely or very clearly it will take you across this ocean of samsara. Correct? Vispashta Tarana Hetu. This path will take you across. It is like the bridge over samsara. So this path will take you clearly, and it will make you reach this moksha puri. So that is the Pathantara, Vitaraha also. And moksha sadhanaha, jnana margaha. So this jnana marga, which is moksha sadhana, which is the means for moksha, this path of knowledge. And what is that? It is puranaha, chirantanaha, very old. Why? Bhashyakara beautifully says nitya shruti prakashitatva, because it is this path is shown by the shruti, which is nitya. Right? It is not like it began sometime or some person suddenly came and said something. It's not like that. This is there coming in each Srishti cycle of creation also, again and again, this knowledge is coming, and that is the beauty of this knowledge. And it is not some new fad or anything. And also it is not something somebody suddenly proclaimed. Correct? He says, na tarkika buddhi prabhava udrishti margavati arva kalikaha. Arva kalika means that which is from recent times. Okay, it is not something recent. It is very old. In fact, it is nowadays there is one term used called anti-fragile. So whatever the Shruti reveals alone is anti-fragile. Understand that because it is coming forever. It has been validated in each and every generation by so many jnanis. So you should not have any, you should not get distracted by what some new intellectual or nowadays scientists may say something. We cannot take all that very seriously because they are saying something based on their own assumptions. And all their assumptions need not be right, or most probably it is not right, in fact. So whatever the Shruti says, you hold on to that, and because that is why this Jnana Marga is Chirantanaha, and don't go in the path shown by some logicians or in the modern context scientists and all that. Okay, or somebody who doesn't have a guru suddenly is claiming something. Such people one should not follow. The one who does not have a guru himself, either he doesn't know or he will not know how to teach. Both are a problem. It's better to go to somebody who has the knowledge of the sampradaya, who has come in a particular parampara. That is very important. So it is not something very recent. And Udrishti also Bhashyakara says. Udrishti, because anything recent somebody is proclaiming and all that, it is from their own kapola, correct? From their own imagination it is coming, and that drishti will not be sudrishti, it is kudrishti. That vision is not proper vision, it is like blind vision only. So it is like blind following another blind. So don't follow all these people. And mam sprishtaha, this path has touched me. Means Bhashyakara gives the meaning maya labdhaha ityartha. So this path has been attained by me. So I am going in this path. Yohi ena labhyate satam sprishati iva sambadhyate. So okay, he is giving a meaning also. Whatever you gain, that only touches you, he says, as a connection. So tena ayam brahma vidya lakshanaha moksha margaha. So by this moksha marga, which is characterized by brahma vidya, maya labdhatvat, having gained by me, mam sprishtaha, that's what. So having gained, I am saying this marga has touched me. Mam sprishtaha iti uchyate. It is only a way of saying, okay. And also, it is not gained by me alone. Okay, na kevalam maya labdha. Gained in the sense that I am not there just in this path, but I have reached the destination also. That is what is important here. So, na kevalam maya labdha, kintu anuvittaha mayaiva. So, by me only, it has been also fructified. This, whatever this path, wherever it is leading me, I have attained that goal itself. I have reached the destination. Means anuvedanam nama vidyayaha paripaka apekshaya phala avasanata nittha praptihi. So Bhashyakara says, what is this meaning of anuvittaha? Means anuvedanam. Anuvedanam has been attained by me means what? Anuvedanam nama vidyayaha, the knowledge is paripaka apeksha means that the maturity of the knowledge. Okay, the knowledge has to mature means it has to give you the results. So how does the knowledge mature? It matures by giving you the jnana phala. And that phala avasanata nishta means what? Now you have established yourself in the results which are given by this knowledge. You are firmly established in that. So that nishta is there. So you have gained that nishta itself. That is what is called anuvittaha, means the one who has established himself in this knowledge and whatever the results of that knowledge in which one is firmly established. And therefore, that is what is said here. And mayaiva is there. Okay. There, that also he will talk about. But before that, and he is giving an analogy. What? Bhujeriva tripti avasanata. Like you are eating and you are satisfied with the food. Or you can even take this satisfaction in another manner, that not only you have eaten it, you have digested it and now you are satisfied with the food, whatever you have eaten. Otherwise, sometimes you eat something, it does not digest well means what? It's not that whatever you have eaten, it has not served its purpose. It's not like that. The tripti avasanata is there. Whatever you have eaten, you have digested and you have got energy out of it, or whatever you are supposed to get out of the food, you have achieved that. Like that it is, he is saying. That is the meaning of anuvittaha. And purvam tu jnana prapti sambandha matram eva iti visheshaha. So the before that, this maya sprishtaha is basically jnana prapti, and this anuvittaha is moksha prapti, because jnanameva mokshaha, but still the jnana phala also, the phala avasanam is there. You have gained the jnana phala, not only the jnanam, but jnana phalam. That is the vishesha here. And kim asau eva mantradrik ekaha brahma vidyapalam praptaha na anyaha praptavan yena anuvittaha mayaiva iti avadharayati. Okay, here it is gained only by me. Like that also you can say, correct? Maya eva. Maya eva means only by me, means is this person alone has got this knowledge? Can anybody else not have this knowledge, or what? That is not the idea here. Okay, Maya eva is more like gained by me only, not like only me. In English also, if you move the only in different places in the sentence, the meaning changes, correct? Me only means what? It is my own experience, my own anubhava. Whatever knowledge I have gained, whatever jnana phala which is there, it is mine. It's not like somebody else's or something I have heard and I am just telling you. It is my own anubhava. That is what is said by this mayaiva. So Bhashyakara will explain that. Naisha doshaha. So it's not a problem. Mayaiva, saying mayaiva is not a problem here. It's not a defect. Why? Asyaha phalam atma sakshikam anuttamam iti Brahma Vidyayaha Stuti Paratva. So Maya Eva, why the Shruti is saying to praise this Brahma Vidya. And how does it praise? By saying Maya Eva, this Atma Sakshikam Bhashyakara says, means this Jnana Phala is witnessed by me, myself. It is my Jnanam and my Moksha which I have gained, and there is nothing greater than that, correct? It is Anuttamam. So there is nothing greater than gaining this knowledge and this Jnana Phalam, and that is your own Anubhava now. And in this manner, this Brahma Vidya is praised, means anybody can gain it and gain this Jnana Phalam. That is the idea. And he says, Evam hi, in this manner only, Kritartha Atma Abhimanakaram Atma Pratyaya Sakshikam Atma Jnanam. So, this Kritartha Atma Abhimanakaram means what? That once you gain this knowledge, like I already said, correct? Kritakrityaha, one becomes Kritakritya. Means I don't have to achieve anything more in life. There is nothing else to be accomplished for me. I have accomplished everything which is to be accomplished, because I don't see myself as a wanting person anymore. If you don't see yourself as a wanting person anymore, there is nothing to be achieved for you, correct? In fact, you should come to this Vedanta itself with such an idea only. Because if you analyze your own life experiences, what you see is whatever you achieve, you cannot rest saying that I am totally satisfied with whatever I have today. That can never happen with any worldly achievement, or even after going to some loka and all that also, it is not going to happen. Because as long as you look upon yourself as a wanting person, how much ever you accumulate, how much ever you gain, whatever may be the accomplishment, you still are the same wanting person with all these things. It's not going to make a fundamental difference. So when does this happen, that I am completely satisfied with myself? I don't need anything to be happy. I don't depend on anything. How will that happen? Means you have to discover that I am not a wanting person, in fact. That I took myself as a wanting person itself is error. It is erroneous knowledge. It is due to wrong identity with the body, mind, sense complex that I am a wanting person. That self judgment is actually erroneous. I am a wanting person itself is an error. Get rid of that error, and then what you discover? I am Purnaha. I am already complete. I am full. I am the limitless. I don't lack anything. Once you have discovered that, then there is Kritartha, Atma Abhimanakara. That discovery, that jnanam makes you Kritartha, means what? You have achieved all that is to be achieved. So even in Taittiriya it says, Soshnute Sarvan Kaman Saha. There Saha is Yugapad, means as soon as you gain this knowledge and moksha, it is like you have as though attained all that is to be desired. Correct? All your desires are fulfilled because there is you don't you are no more even a desirer. Correct? Desire itself is irrelevant to you anymore. That is the beauty of this. Therefore, you become Kritartha. Atma Abhimana is there for you. And that is because that is also Atma Pratyaya Sakshika, means it is your own Pratyaya. It is not that somebody else is telling you that you are Indra, Chandra, you are Purna Atma, you are Brahman. It's not good enough that your Guru is saying that. It is your Pratyaya. You have cognized that, and it is your own Swanubhava. It is the Aparoksha Anubhuti. Your own Aparoksha Anubhuti. That is the Jnana Nishtha. That is the Atma Jnanam. And there is nothing greater than that because there cannot be anything greater than infinity, correct? The limitless. So, Kim Atah Param Anyat Syat, Bhashyakara is asking, what is there greater than this? There cannot be anything greater than this. That is how this Brahma Vidya is being praised here. He says, Iti Brahma Vidyam Skauti. The Shruti is praising Brahma Vidya in this manner. Further, what? Natu Punaha Anyaha Brahmavit Tatpalam na prapnoti iti. But not to say that somebody else cannot become a Brahmavid or he cannot gain this pala. That's not the meaning of saying Mayaiva. In fact, already it was said, correct? You can see here, yo devanam iti sarvartha shrutehe. So this shruti was already there. We saw in 1:4:10, okay, where that Aham Brahmasmi is there. If you go back, you see that Shruti says what? It says, yo devanam pratyabudhyata sayeva tad abhavat. So the even see, the whoever is the Brahmavid, he becomes Brahman. The same thing for Devas also. Whichever Devas knew this, they also became Brahman, it says. Then what? Tatha Rishinam, Tatha Manushyanam. Similarly for the Rishis, whichever Rishi had this knowledge, he is also Brahman. Whichever human being, Manushya also has this knowledge, he is also Brahman. In fact, it also talks about Vamadeva here, interestingly. Tad Daitad Pashyan Rishihi Vamadevaha Pratipede Aham Manuhu Abhavam Suryascha iti. So this Rishi Vamadeva, he knew Aham Brahmasmi iti. He gained this knowledge and then what did he proclaim? He said, I am Manu, I am Surya, etc. That is because that is the Sarvatma Bhava is talked about. So once you have this Jnanam, you have this Sarvatma Bhava. So that is the Sarvartha Shrutehe. That is why Bhashyakara says it is Sarvartha Shruti. Means you become the Atma of everything. And in that Shruti, it's not that only any one person alone can gain this jnanam. Whoever gains this knowledge, whether you are a rishi, whether you are a manushya, whether you are a deva, for all of them, the same phala is there. So there is no question of mayaiva means restricting it to only one person or anything. Further, what tadeva aha, and that's what it further says. In fact, what tena brahma vidya margena dhiraha prajnavantaha. So dhiraha means one who has this knowledge, viveki purushaha. This those who are going by this brahma vidya marga, anyepi brahma vidaha means by this what it means is other brahmavids also who are going in this path of brahma vidya. So anyepi brahma vidaha ityarthaha apiyanti apigachati means they also attain, they also reach what brahma vidya phalam. They gain this brahma vidya phalam which is moksham, and that is said as swargam lokam. Here this swargam lokam it is said again. How can you say swarga loka is moksha? Means Bhashyakara स्वर्गलोक शब्द त्रिविष्टप पद त्रिविष्टपवाच्यपि सन् इह प्रकरणात् मोक्ष अभिधायकः. So normally Swarga means it refers to one of the three worlds, correct? Trivishtapa means the three worlds. And so normally Swargaloka means Bhuhu, Bhuaha, Swaha and all we say. Swargaloka, which is the Swargaloka. But here it cannot be that. Here, because of the Prakarana, which is Brahma Vidya Prakarana, Moksha is the phala which is being talked about. Therefore, in this Prakarana, Swargalokam actually means only Moksha. So he says Moksha Abhidayakaha. It indicates Moksha only here. You can't give any other meaning. And again, itaha asmat sharira patat urdhvam jivantaha eva vimuktaha santaha. So again, vimuktaha santaha means already being Mukta Purusha, and again after giving up this body also. Itaha means after, means after asmat sharirat patat. When this body falls also, he is vimuktaha. But being vimuktaha only, he becomes vimukta because he is traveling in this Brahma Vidya Marga. Okay, now the next shloka. Tasmin shuklam uta neelam ahuhu pingalam haritam lohitam cha yesha pantha brahmana ha anuvitta anuvittaha tena yeti brahmavid punyakrit taijasascha. So this again talks about this pantha only, this path of Brahma Vidya. Now again with reference to this Brahma Vidya Marga and what path one takes and all that, there is confusion. The confusion is not there only now. This confusion has been there forever. So Shruti itself is addressing that. The first part of the shloka here is about this confusion, because some people say what tasmin shuklam, they say. So this path is all like it is all white or it is all clear. It is shuddha, pure, vimalam, without any stain, etc. So that is, some mumukshus say that this path is like that. Other mumukshus say it is all blue, neelam, ahu. Others say pingalam, haritam and all that. It is yellow, green. So different colors. How can they say all this? Means those who do some upasana and all that, they may see different colors, different visions and all that, but that is all not moksha really. Understand that. We are not talking about any vision or going somewhere, etc. also, or going to some other dimension and things like that. Also, people talk about it, correct? Different yogis, they talk about all these things. They are also mukshus, but they may not have this knowledge properly. Then they can attain all this because of their sadhana and tapas and all that. They can attain altered states and etc. Things like that. But that is all not moksha. But they are all claiming all these things, correct? Different. This marga is like this, like that. But basically, what it is, yesha pantha brahmana ha anuvittaha. So, but the actual pantha, this marga is what? The one gained by the Brahmavid only. So, the Brahmana here means this, the one who is Brahmavid only. It is the path of knowledge. It is not the path of some visualization and all that, or some vision, etc. You have to have this knowledge. And that knowledge, this Brahma Vidya alone can give you that Vidya Phalam, which is again Anuvittaha, the word is there here. So only those who travel by the path of this knowledge will gain this Vidya Phalam, which is moksha. Okay, Tena Yeti means only they attain, not those who see some visions or this color, that color, or even those who even when the jiva leaves the body, also we say, correct, it can go through Sushumna Nadi or this Nadi, that Nadi, or it is leaving from this chakra, that chakra. All these may produce certain experiences, visions, etc. Even if the jiva is still living through all that, it is all not moksha. Moksha means jiva does not live anywhere. Tasya pranaha na utkramanti. It just resolves here itself. There is nowhere to go, in fact. If everything is you, where can you go really? There is nothing to go, nowhere to go. Moksha is right here and now. So there is nowhere to go, really speaking. So any going and all that means it is not moksha really. So that is what the Shruti itself is making it clear. Only those who gain this knowledge, they attain this here. And that Brahmavit also is what? Punya Kriti Taijasascha. The Brahmavit is talked about as one who has done lot of punya already. To qualify yourself, you need punya. Without punya, you cannot come to Vedanta. Understand that. Without punya, you cannot get this Manushya Janma itself. Correct? And after getting the Manushya Janma, getting Mumukshutvam means another punya, great punya. Then you have to get the right guru. That is another Greater punya you require. Otherwise, you can go in circles. I have seen lot of very sincere people, okay, seekers, but they are all going in certain circles. Okay, they are waiting for some like that one great experience to somehow suddenly descend and all that. They keep doing meditation, etc. They may be seeing something else, like I said, different visions and all that. But unless, but still you are the same individual, correct? If you are still the same wanting person, even wanting for that experience also is a wanting only. It's not going to change you. Understand that. So you have to discover as you are Brahman, in fact. That is the beauty. This teaching is not that you will become Brahman. You are Brahman. You are already that Brahman and you have to discover that. That is the teaching. That is the knowledge we are talking about. And that discovery has to happen. And for that, lot of punya is required. There can be many a slip between the cup and the lip, correct? So you have to, this is like traveling in this, that's why it is a Sukshma Marga or traveling, it's like walking on the racer's edge and all that. So you have to be alert always. So that is very important. And for that, lot of punya and also Taijasascha. And again, here Brahma Vidya Stuti only, all these things. See, normally the one who has lot of punya and one who is having Tejas, correct? This Brahma Tejas and all that we say means you have this certain brightness about you. That person is a very highly accomplished and that person uh, is praised in the society or at least considered as an accomplished person. But this Brahmavit also is like that. The Shruti is praising this Brahmavit because Brahmavit is Punyakrit and he is Taijasaha. He has this Tejas. And this Brahmavit Tejas is because he has discovered himself as Parameshwara. I am not something different from Ishvara or Brahman. That is the real Brahma Tejaha. Correct? It's not like, see, there is a certain Tejas you get by doing lot of japa, tapas, even being a Vaidika and every day you are chanting mantra, etc. and you follow a certain disciplined lifestyle, you get a certain Tejas. Nobody can deny that. But this Brahma Tejas is even better than all that because this is coming from the knowledge that Aham Brahmasmi. So that is the Taijasaha here. Okay, we'll also see quickly some Bhashya. Tasmin moksha sadhana marge vipratipattihi mumukshunam. So for the mumukshus, there are some vipratipatti means what? There are different opinions are there. Some confusion is there. Okay. So the pratipatti means normally cognition or understanding properly. But here vipratipatti means there are some misunderstandings, you can say, or confusions to the mumukshus. What? How? He says, Tasmin shuklam shuddham vimalam ahuhu kechit mumukshavaha. So this marga is shuddha. It is very pure. It is vimala without any stain or anything. Clean, clear path. This is the clearest path. The path of Advaita. Some people say. In fact, some people claim like that. Right? This yoga is like highway. Other yogas are all like you are going in bullock cart. This yoga, or nowadays somebody can claim it is like rocket. Others are all going on only the highway. I am now taking you by the rocket itself. And you nowadays so many other things are coming nowadays. Correct? This they are planning some what is it called? Hyperloop and all that. So this hyperloop will take you in 20 minutes. What is taking 15 hours by flight today? It is not even flight or rocket. It is even better than that. Whatever it is. So so it is not any of these margas. There is no real travel, in fact. So, but some people say it is Shuklam. Others say Neelam, Anye Neelam, Pingalam Anye, Haritam, Lohitam. So it is green, it is red, it is yellow, all these things. Yatha Darshanam. However they see it. Because they have certain visions, let us say. And why do they have all these visions? Because Bhashyakara says, Nadyastu etaha sushumnadyaha shleshmadi rasa sampurnaha shuklasya neelasya pingalasya ityetadi uktatva. So that is, they have all this darshanam. Why? Because they are going through these nadis, he says. And there are different nadis, 72,000 nadi and all that and all we have seen already. Amongst them, three are very famous, correct? Ida, Pingala, Sushumna. Sushumna is supposed to be in the center. Then Ida and Pingala are there on the sides. And then you rise in your nadis. And while you are rising through the nadis, you go through different chakras also. They say all these 7 chakras are there, starting from Mooladhara onwards. Okay, up to the Sahasrara. And while you are going through all that, you are seeing different things. Because these nadis have this Leshmadi Rasa Sampurna means they are filled with some subtle liquid, we have to say, or fluid. This Leshma means something gooey, gluey, okay? Like that, some rasa is there, he's saying. Bhashyakara, but this rasa is again, it cannot be taken as physical, I think. It is more like some kind of a wave or something. It's sukshma, it is subtle fluid we have to take. So these nadis are all filled with that. That's why they are seeing all these colors, he's saying. Shuklasya, Nilasya, Pingalasya, Ityetadi, Tattva. And also they can think like this. Adityam va moksha margam evam vidham manyante. Yesha Shuklaha, Yesha Nilaha, Ityadi, Shrutyantara. So even in the Chandogya, something similar is being talked about. There is a Aditya. In fact, I think our people also had an idea that this this light spectrum and all that we say, correct? Different colors of light and all that, they are talked about even in the Veda actually. These 7 colors are there. And it even talks about there are other colors also. This infrared, ultraviolet, etc. Also, some references are all there in the Veda. You can interpret it like that. So even in the Chandogya, there is a portion where it is talking about Shukla, Neela, etc. The Aditya, whatever the colors of the Aditya itself. So these people can even take this moksha marga as that that is what that which is leading to Aditya. And even Bhagavan talks about this Dhuma marga, etc. in the Gita, correct? The path of smoke and the path of Archiradi marga and all we say. Okay, the path of sun, etc. So they may be talking about all these things because even in the Shrutyantra, in the Chandogya also, this is being discussed. So Darshana Margasya cha Shukladi Varna Asambhava. But in this Brahma Vidya, Darshana Marga here means it is only seeing, correct? Purely it is about knowledge. In the path of knowledge, which is Darshana, Shukladi Varna and all is not possible. It's only that you gain this knowledge. There is nothing else. Therefore, he says there is no possibility of all seeing this Varna, etc. And also Sarvathapi tu Prakritat Brahma Vidya Margat Anye Ete Shukladayaha. So all these, in whichever way you look at it, this Prakritam Brahma, whatever is under discussion now, which we are discussing is the Brahma Vidya Marga. All these Shukla, etc. are other than this Brahma Vidya only because this is the Jnana Marga. Those are all you can take as Upasana Marga. So only when you visualize all these colors, etc., you can see. Now here also there are some other opinions are there. So some people say, Nanu, Shuklaha, Shuddhaha, Advaita Margaha. Advaita Marga is referred to as Shuklaha. Other Margas only are given other colors, etc. Even this Bhashyakara doesn't agree. He says, nah, no, Advaita is not Shukla or anything here. Because it is coming along with other colors. Shukla has to be taken also as one more color only, he says. Na Neela Pitadi Shabdaihi Varna Vachakehi Saha Anudravana. So it is coming along with other colors. Therefore, the Shukla is not really Advaita Marga or anything. Brahma Vidya Marga is other than any of these Margas where we are visualizing certain colors, etc. So he says, Yan Shukladin Yoginaha Moksha Pathanahu Nate Moksha Margaha. He says very clearly. Whatever these yogis say as this Shukla, etc., Marga, some visions, etc., they are talking about, they are all not Moksha Marga. Even if you attain something, you go to different dimension and all that. Again, after the punya is gone, you have to come back to this dimension. Okay, you cannot escape. So they are all not moksha margaha. They are all within samsara only. He says samsara vishaya eva hite. They are all samsara vishaya only. And again, he is quoting Brhadaranyaka. Already we saw in 442. Chakshuštova, Murdhnova, Anyebhyova, Sharira Deshebhya means when the Jiva leaves, it can leave from different places like this. It was talked about. in the samsara varnana itself. So only when you leave through all these different places, all these colors and all you see, he's saying, because you are going through different nadis. So they are all only within samsara. Iti sharira deshan nissarana sambandha. So seeing these colors are all because of you are still connected with the different sharira desha only, different parts of the body where you are traveling through different nadis. Therefore, this is not moksha vivarana or anything. It is all within samsara. And maximum what? Brahmadi loka prapakahi te. If you go through all these different margas, the highest you can reach is Brahmaloka, he says. And from there again you have to gain this knowledge. Brahmaji will teach you, that is Krama Mukti, but it is not really Moksha Marga. Therefore he says, Tasmad ayam eva Moksha Margaha. This Brahma Vidya Marga alone is Moksha Marga. Rest of the things we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purna Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಗುರುಜಿ.
Om.